Are you tired of your classroom being completely out of control? You are? Well then, I've got some easy tips to help you with your classroom management problems. Are you ready to go? Let's get started. And in order for a class to function properly, we'll start with class rules. Every class needs class rules in order to work properly. Here are some class rules that you can use for your classroom. Rule number 1. Respect everyone, including yourself and the teacher. If you respect each other, then things will run much more smoothly. Number 2. Be responsible, meaning do all your assignments on time and bring the tools necessary for class with you, like pencils, paper, calculator. Rule number 3. Give 100%. Don't just give 25% or 40% or 89%. Or 99.9%. Give all your all. Give 100%. Rule number 4. Help others when needed. Some people need some help from their peers, so if you see one of your peers struggling, you should help them. Or ask the teacher if they can help you as well if you're the one struggling. These are some class rules that are very useful on our way to being proper teachers with great classroom management skills. Okay, so one important aspect of being a teacher is the ability to reward your students when they behave themselves and to punish students when they do not follow the class rules that you set up. So, right now we're going to look at ways to reward students when they behave themselves. In order to reward someone for doing something good, you can give them something they like. For example, this is Dave. Dave loves cake. Cake is good. When Dave is good, we give Dave cake. Let's see how Dave reacts.
David, I've got cake. Woohoo!
This is what we call positive reinforcement. It reinforces the good, positive behavior that the student is performing. So, if the student doesn't respond well to a reward like cake, we can give them a coupon that allows them to drop one assignment from their grades, such as a homework assignment they forgot. One very, very important thing about classroom management is having a list of punishments that a student will get if they break one of the rules. Some teachers don't like doing this because it makes them be the mean teacher or the bad teacher, but it's important to have this. I'm going to emphasize this. This is very important to have in order to have a classroom run smoothly. So, let's think of some ways that we can punish students. Do you have any ideas? No, that's not proper way to punish a student. We never do that. That is not proper at all. Here's a good idea. If a student is misbehaving, try putting them in like a working lunch where they have to complete assignments. Another way we can punish a student is by calling their parent. Most kids don't want you to call home because their parents will delve out a worse punishment than you could ever delve out to them in class. Another way to punish them is making them complete a worksheet that explains what they did wrong and who was involved and what rule they broke and why they chose to break that rule and what the rule caused in class, like disturbance to the class and hurting the teacher's feelings or something like that. It makes them explain what they could have done better in their choices. A lot of times these action plans will have the student explain what punishment they think they should have, besides having to fill this whole entire paper out, which is long and makes them really annoyed and tired. And then often you send this paper home for a parent to sign. And finally, here are some last tips to help you with your classroom management problems. Are you ready? Good. Here we go. The ripple effect is the first tip for you to use in your classroom. What happens is you walk over to Evelyn's desk, place your hand gently on her desk, and say, "Evelyn, you're misbehaving. I need you to calm down." And since you reprimanded Evelyn in front of the rest of the class, it will cause a ripple of quiet in the rest of the class. Everyone will go dead silent, and they will most likely behave for quite a while after you reprimanded her publicly. Another tip to use in your classroom is to use what is called the teacher look, or the glare. What you do is you will just teach, and then you'll hear a student misbehave, and then you just look at them. And they will most likely freeze up and stop what they're doing because the teacher look is terrifying. Another tip is to use proximity. Some students who misbehave sit in the back of the classroom, so they can get away with anything. What you do is you move really close to them. When you move close to them, it makes them feel uncomfortable, so then they'll most likely stop whatever bad behavior that they're doing. And another tip is to be proactive. Being proactive is to stop the problem before it even occurs. Another tip is to have parent-teacher conferences or a student conference. What you do is you pull the students aside after class and discuss their behavior in order to correct it and make sure they don't do it again. Or if a student conference doesn't work, then you might have to call their parents and have them come in to discuss their child. These are the tips that you need in order to become a successful teacher in your classroom. Thank you for joining us in our classroom management. I hope these tips really helped you take control of your classroom.